Hey everyone, what you hodling? I'm John, and welcome back to part 3 of the 5-part series of everything you need to know about REX. As always, before we begin, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm not promoting this coin. Strictly a tutorial and for educational purposes only, so always do your own research. So, I hope you guys saw the first 2 videos, part 1, which is a high-level overview of REX, part 2, how to buy REX through exchanges, through auctions, and here is part 3 video on boosters. So the boosters that we'll be mainly talking about today is TREX and MREX, and I'm going to tell you what each one is about, how they enhance your experience with REX and in your staking, how to obtain them, the features and functions and whatnot. So let's get right to it. So the easiest way to learn about the boosters, for one, you can always move your cursor to the blue question marks and it will show. As you can see, I'm holding a TREX and an MREX. I hold it because it's important and I'm going to tell you why. So let's go to the white paper, as it's pretty clear. So when you're staking, you always get the initial share price. So how that is important, if you go to the dashboard, I'm going to take you there right now. And essentially, the way it works is that currently it costs about 6.637 REX to get 1 share. Now, if you're holding a TREX, you get the initial share price, right? Like it says right here, always get the initial share price. Now, the initial share price is 0.1 REX for 1 share. Excuse me. So essentially, if you have 1 REX, you're going to get 10 shares. Whereas right now, you need 6.637 REX to get 1 share. I believe, let's bring out the calculator, if we take 0.1 divided by 6.637, so essentially right now 1 REX gets you 0.015 shares, whereas if you have the initial share price, 1 REX gets you 10 shares. So it's a big difference. And the reason why you want shares, to make it simple, imagine shares is a miner. Because the whole concept of REX is you're buying some REX, you're going to stake it, and at the end of your period, of your staking period, you're going to mint more REX in the form of interest. And you gain those interests through the number of shares you have. So what I like to tell my friends, if they don't understand it, because it can get complicated, just think of it this way. The more shares you have is like the more miners you have. The more miners you have means the more interest or more REX that the miners will mine. So having a TREX and giving you the cheapest share price, which is like locking in the cheapest cost for a miner versus paying the current prices for a miner, you're going to get a whole lot more shares, which is like a whole lot of miners to mine more REX for you. So that's probably the easiest way. If it's still confusing, by all means leave a comment and I'll be more than happy to explain it further. So TREX gets your initial share price, which equates to more shares, which equates to more interest that you can get. Currently, those who are staking with a TREX, they are earning, if you stake for 555 days, which is the longest period of time, so you get the maximum interest added with a TREX. The rate today is around 13% interest per day. Now remember, the interest you earn is not dollars, it's in the form of REX, all right? Now the second feature of a TREX token is referral rewards. If you're collecting referral rewards, which I showed in part 2 of the video, if someone uses your referral code, you're going to earn some BNB. Now, it takes a long time to claim up to 1 BNB, so if you had a TREX token, you can withdraw those BNB if it's less than 1. Otherwise, for those who don't have a TREX, you have to wait to accumulate to 1 BNB before you can remove it. And the third feature is higher limits in auctions. So again, in part 2 video, I talked about auctions and how someone who doesn't have any boosters can only contribute 2 BNBs to the auctions. But if you have a TREX token, you get to add an extra BNB for a total of 3 BNB that you can contribute to auctions, so you can get a bigger piece of the pie in the auction pool. Okay, so that's essentially how it works. Right now, the cost for one TREX is $3,862. Now, the reason being is when TREX first came out, there were only 1,000 TREX. Now, those sold out, I'd say, about 2 weeks ago, and now they're on the exchange where you can trade them, you can buy them, and the price has skyrocketed. Like I say, when I first started, you can, on the dashboard, right here, I'll show you, where it shows TREX here, it said send 1 BNB. So when it first started, before it sold out on the website, which is 1,000 TREX, you can basically trade 1 BNB and get 1 TREX. And today it's worth 3,862. Just so you know, 1 BNB, it's approximately, I believe, like 400 and change right now at the moment. Okay, so it's amazing. The price is higher than ETH right now. Can you believe it? And the reason being because it's such a valuable coin, has a lot of utility. Like I said, you know, you get the initial share price, which is huge. So for those of you who know Hex, it's similar to a T-share. So imagine if you can lock in the initial T-share price as opposed to paying the current price, you'll have a lot more Hex shares. So in this case, you get a lot more Rex shares, which earns you more interest. Like I showed you in my calculator, it's a big difference. Without TREX, you're getting 0.015 shares. Whereas if you have a TREX, this is 10 shares for every 1 Rex token. So it's a huge difference. And if you're able to afford it, not financial advice, depending how big your bag is that you want to put in for Rex, it may be advantageous for you to get TREX. Now, there are some ways that you can get it. There are some members who are willing to stake it for you. Basically, you have to trust to send your Rex tokens to someone, and they're going to stake it for you and send it back to you. The other way that some people are doing in chat is they purchase a TREX, at whatever price it is. So in this case, 3,800. They're going to purchase it, set up their stakes so they get the TREX rate, so they get the highest amount of shares, which results in the highest amount of interest. And after they're done that, they're going to sell it back, maybe for a profit, maybe for a loss, but at least this way it's like they're renting it and they don't have to trust someone else to do it for them and risk getting scammed. So that's essentially how TREX work. So right now, because it's sold out, the first 1,000 on the website that you could trade for 1 BNB is completely gone. As of 2 weeks ago, you can now buy and sell TREX on PancakeSwap. So if you go to PancakeSwap, you connect your wallet. Right now I have 100 USDT and I can, let me switch to a TREX. I guess I don't have TREX here. Let me check it out. So it doesn't show. So what we're going to do, we're going to add the token. So let's go add the token. It's great practice so you guys can see in case you run into the same issue. So let's copy the contract for TREX. Copied it. Let's go to PancakeSwap. Let's close this first. Let's go here, and in the search, we're going to paste the address. Now, it's not showing. Interesting. Well, believe me, guys, it's there. So let's check out 1inch. 1inch.io. Here we go. TREX. So like I said in my part 2 video, I like to use 1inch. So you can see I can go and purchase. Of course, I need to give permission, and then I get it. I'm surprised that Pancake's not showing it, even though I have the address there. Wow, interesting. Anyhow, maybe I copied the address wrong. Let me just check that again. Looks great to me. Okay. Bear with me, guys. It doesn't show. Anyhow, at least you can see with 1 inch that it works. So that's basically how you can only obtain TREX right now, through this exchange, through the aggregator 1 inch. Now let's take a look at MREX, which is the second booster for the REX token ecosystem. So MREX, it's an optional token again, and you can hold up to 20 MREX per wallet. Now, what does MREX do? So first off, referral rewards. You get up to 50% more BNB from 4% to 6% at 0.01% per MREX. So essentially, let's say you have 5 MREX, and normally you can put in, let's say, 2 Binance coin. If you have the TREX, like I mentioned just earlier, you can add a third one. And if you have the MREX, let's say 5 MREX, you can put up to 3.5 BNBs because each MREX gives you an extra 0.1%. Now, on top of that, it also unlocks special functions. Now, these functions are pretty important. First one is naming stakes. So you can name your stakes to anything you like, an annual pay, birthday present, Christmas present, whatever you like. You can move stakes. So moving is quite important. Let's say something happens, you want to move your stakes to a different wallet because it got compromised. Let's say you want to set up a Christmas gift and then you want to send it to that recipient so you can move it. And the last one, which in my opinion is the most important of all, is that it allows you to scrape interest. So let's say you're staking, you've accumulated some interest, and you're locked in for 555 days. You see that your interest has grown a lot because right now it's paying 13% a day. So technically, in about 10 days, it's 130% of interest. So you have 130% more of the REX token that you put in, that you locked in for that period of time at 555 days for 13%. Now, if you lock it for less, you get less. But we're going to get into more about staking in the 4th video. So scraping interest is important because let's say you accumulated 500%. At that point, if you wish, you can scrape all the interest, all 500% interest that you have, and you can do whatever you want. You can restake it again. You can sell it, liquidate it all, liquidate it half. Basically, it's flexible. You can do whatever you like with it. Now, another feature of MREX is in the auctions. You get higher limits, right? Like I said earlier, 0.1 Binance per MREX, maximum 2 because you can hold 20 MREX, right? So in total, if you have the MREX and the TREX token for the auctions, you can put a total of 5 Binance coins. So 2 if you have none. You get an extra one, so 3 if you have TREX, and if you have 20 MREX, you can add additional 2 Binance for a total of 5. Also, in the BNB Treasury, 100% more claimable BNB. So what the Treasury is for those who don't get hit with big payday, which I went through in part 2 video. If you go down, you'll see this is a BNB Treasury. So out of the daily auction pool, some of it goes to this treasury, and in this treasury it keeps accumulating until the end of big payday. And what happens is, if you did not get hit with big payday and you were, I guess, unlucky, then if you're eligible for it, which you should because you haven't got hit with it, you will get an equal share of the treasury. So right now there are 1,583 addresses or wallets that did not get hit with big payday. So right now, I guess it would be 51 Binance coin divided by 1,583 addresses. Now that's if it ended today. Now you can see it says I'm not eligible because I already received my big payday, which I showed everyone in part 2 video. So I'm no longer eligible for the treasury. but I'm fine. I collected 18 BNBs from that. Now, how do you get MREX? Well, first off, there were 10,000 MREX available on the Rex site. And it used to say send, whatever amount of BNB, and you can go up to 20, but it sold out, I believe, maybe like 5 days ago. So now the only way to get MREX is to go on the exchange. So let's take a look at the price. Right now for an MREX, it's $97. At the time on the website, it cost 0.1 BNB for one MREX. So basically the value of MREX has doubled. And you can buy it on PancakeSwap, or again, you can use 1inch, an aggregator of some other sort. So you can see here, MREX. All right, so that's essentially how you can obtain MREX. Now, the benefit of both of them is, one, again, with a TREX, you get the most shares, which will get you the most interest. MREX, it allows you to move your stakes or scrape your interest, which is where you can, in a way, cash out. And of course, auctions, if you were to participate in auctions because you find that as very valuable, because you may get hit with big payday and essentially your investment is free, then MREX is great because that increases your auction amount by an additional 2 Binance coin. Now, if you don't have any of these, well, you won't be able to move your stakes. You won't be able to name them. You can't scrape them. So essentially, if you lock it in for 555 days for 15.2 years, it's going to be locked in there unless you're willing to close it early and end your stake and take a hit and get penalized. And I will go through all that in the next video in part 4, where I'll be talking about how to stake it, how to stake Rex, how to sell Rex, how to close it, and all that fun stuff. So that's it for video 3 of the 5-part series, everything you need to know about Rex. If you found this video useful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to be notified when new content is released. Thank you very much, and I'll